So media training is not only important for brand awareness, but it's important for you to control, maintain, and contain the narrative, okay? At the end of the day, a lot of stories run wild. Sometimes you're doing damage control or you're just bringing awareness to something. But in my professional opinion, the biggest thing that a lot of people need to work on are counteracting those questions that you have already told the host ahead of time, you and your team, that you are not going to answer. If you learn how to tackle those off-topic questions when you've already told them straight up, you're not going to, don't ask me, and they ask you anyway. Because those are the moments that they use to take you left, to steer you left. You see what I'm saying? And being selective about your platforms that you go on. A lot of people, if you notice, they only talk to a certain high caliber host. And even if it is at a high caliber, like station or whatever, right? Or media outlet, they will only deal with that one person. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they got a reputable, history or whatever. So, but the thing is, you've got to really, this is like a key thing, artist development and PR training for a lot of artists. And it's just in professions, and then you do have company spokesperson, but when you are an artist yourself, learning that your personal voice isn't always going to be your professional voice. Sometimes it is more relaxed setting, but honestly, you just cannot trust people to not ask you certain questions, even though they claim they ain't. I'm just being honest, and I tell people that all the time. Just prepare for them to ask you something left. Think of left questions. Think of the questions you refuse to talk about publicly, and come up with a solution. If they do ask you that, what will you do? Some people just blatantly get up and leave. Some people nastily leave, or just get up and like, oh, cutting this short. Me, I know how to shut down people real quick in just personal life. So, but PR is very important. And if you can't afford, proper PR training, you can certainly, start practicing yourself, because they will spin the narrative. You need to be careful about who. So the reason I say always start practicing how to deflect from the questions you don't want to be asked is because that's normally where the interview goes left. They're taking you out of your comfort zone. You see what I'm saying? And then you're like a deer caught on headlights because you've already told us folks you don't want to discuss it, or you weren't expecting. You were expecting to be talking about something totally different, and then here they are coming and asking you something crazy. So that's where it normally goes left. And then they use that and run a whole different storyline. You see what I'm saying? Because you went left and you didn't know how to contain it at the moment. And they pulling up receipts from folks you didn't even know they had. You thought they was your friend, and all this stuff happens all the time. So you want to be proactive on that end. You see what I'm saying?